So I really hate the website Reddit. It's a terrible website. As you can see, I'm permanently banned from it at the top of the screen. And anytime I try to make a new account, they will nuke it, even if I use a VPN or a proxy or anything to hide my IP address. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that I still visit some communities on the website every now and then just to see what's going on. And one of those communities is the sportsbook community. And there's a lot of times I see posts on there that I wish I could reply to, but I can't because I'm permanently banned from the website. So I figured, hey, I'll take some posts from the sportsbook subreddit and make videos about them. How does that sound? That way I can answer the questions. So I saw this post come up a couple days ago, and I was like, I need to make a video on this. And I will go ahead and read the post for you guys. And it says, when did you decide to do this more seriously, doing the sports betting? How would I know I'm at that level? Well, I can answer that question pretty easily, but let's go through the context of the post line by line. So he says, I'm struggling to put my experience with the NFL season in context. All right, I'm going to stop there. Just one sentence in, I'm going to answer that. NFL is the hardest sport to beat in sports betting, period. Period. I firmly believe that you cannot beat NFL long term, even if you're a very, very strong data scientist or model or anything like that. I just believe it's a lost cause, a losing proposition. He says, I think I'm doing well, but I only know hobbyist bettors like me, so I don't have anyone who can tell me my results are a blip or whatever. So he thinks he's doing well this NFL season. So what, 2 months, 9 to 10 weeks worth of a sample size, and he thinks he's doing well, which is very possible. When I say it's impossible to beat NFL, it's impossible to beat long run, but one season, anybody can beat NFL in one season, even if you're just flipping a coin. Check out the video I did on the Westgate Super Contest a couple years ago to kind of explain how I believe the Super Contest at the Westgate is blind luck, but just because picking NFL games, even against stale lines, I just feel like it's blind luck. And so he says, I'm considering putting more serious money into this and maybe supplement my income more meaningfully. Nothing life-ruining, bet what you can afford to lose, etc. But I know I'm like the billionth person to think that, and many have tried that and failed with serious consequence. So yes, I did several videos on the subject when I was living in Las Vegas my second time back in 2021. Check out my life cycle of the average sports bettor series. Also, I think I did a video out of the pool of the apartment I lived in Las Vegas where the thumbnail had me, leaning back in a beach chair about the subject. But, I'll elaborate on this quickly. Yes, everybody thinks that. Everybody who has any success sports betting, whether it be just one day or 1 week, they're going to start crunching the numbers in their head and they're going to start saying, wow, I need to turn this into a side income. Some idiots even think they should turn it into their primary income and quit their day job. I mean, having lived in Las Vegas twice in my life, you come across people dime a dozen who think that they can make a living doing this or make a very good side coin doing this. So yes, you are the billionth person to think this. The problem is that almost everyone who tries is going to fail. That's just the fact of the matter. So let me keep reading his post. So TLDR, I bought in at the beginning of the season of the NFL with 5 units and add 2 or 3 more in promotional bets. I place about 4 same game parlays a week in the 5 to 7 to 1 range. Meaning the odds, pay out 5 to 1 or 7 to 1. 3 months later, I've pulled 65 units out of my account. If you're a more experienced gambler, how do you interpret that trend? How might you alter your unit size, if at all? Also, I'm interested in how you personally moved from I sprinkle some money for fun each weekend to this is something I can make money on. All right, well, if your strategy is to build your bankroll on same game parlays, that's not sustainable. I'm sorry, but that's not sustainable. There is no sustainable long-term betting strategy that involves parlays, period. The very, 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 very few people who make money long-term betting on sports do not do it with parlays. They do it with single game bets, promotion hunting, line shopping, arbitrage betting, and all of that. They don't do it making parlay bets. So when I was in Las Vegas a few months ago on week 1 of the college football season, there was a guy sitting next to me at the Red Rock who hit a 10-team college football parlay. He put $20 on it and won something like $4 or $5 grand. I forgot what it was. But hey, he won more money than I did. Let's put it that way. There are several people every NFL Sunday who probably hit long shot parlays like that. 8-team, 10-team, even 12-team. Does that mean what they did is a good idea? No. I can go up to Oklahoma right now, go to the roulette table and put $100 on the number 3. And if the ball lands on number 3, I'm going to win $3,500. But does that mean it was a good idea? No. It was a negative proposition bet that I just happened to get lucky on. So what this poster is experiencing right now is luck. He is experiencing luck. He is lucky that he has multiplied his bankroll by 1,300%, going from 5 units to 65 units. Very lucky doing that with parlays, but it's not sustainable. It's not. But I know what you're going to say. You're probably going to be like, well, yeah, of course it's not sustainable. You know, I watch your videos, so what's the point of this post or this video? Well, the point of this video is to answer the question, when do you decide to do this more seriously, and how do you know when you're at the level to where you can, you know, turn it from something to do for a hobby into something, hey, this is something I can make money on, make supplemental income and all that. You don't. If you have to ask, you're not at that level. I believe, as someone who is a professional data scientist, as someone who has more data science skills than probably 99.9% of the people who've ever bet on sports, as someone who spent several years trying to build models out on various different sports, I never got to that level. I never got to the level where I was like, you know what, I can make some side income on this, or I can make some good supplemental income. I never got to that level. To get to that level where, like, you know what, I'm going to go all in, not go all in and like quit my day job, but be like, you know what, I'm losing out on money by not taking this more seriously. I am leaving money on the table by not upping the ante here and trusting my models and approach and everything. I never got to that level. I use this example all the time. When I was in Las Vegas in 2021 and had a college basketball live betting and second half model that was just crushing it, like hitting 65% over a 2 to 3 week span. And I was like, it seemed like, you know, like 10, 11, 12 days in a row, I was just winning, betting second halves and live college basketball bets. And I was like, you know what? I'm leaving money on the table. I need to ride this hot streak. So one night, after like 12 straight nights of winning with this model, I doubled my bet sizes. I think I was betting like $150, $200 a game at the time. I doubled it. I basically was putting $300-$400 on college basketball live and second half bets. And you know what happened? I went 7-15 that night. 7-15. So I lost. Had I been betting my normal unit sizes, I would have lost like 8 to 9 units. But since I was doubled my bankroll or doubled my bet size, I lost more like 16, 17 units. Yeah, so I wiped out a lot of gains by doing that. And so I was like, the logic that caused me to do that is I'm leaving money on the table. My model's doing too good. I need to take advantage of that. But I've been in both situations before. I would rather leave money on the table and keep my bet sizes what they were than be in a point where I lost too much and I was like, man, I lost too much. I wiped out nearly 20% of my bankroll that night. And so I would much rather leave money on the table than overbet and lose. It's a much worse feeling to overbet and lose than to, I wouldn't even say underbet, but to stay the course and be like, man, I could have won more, right? So how do you know you're at the level to where you can be taking sports betting more seriously? You're not. If you have to ask, you're not there. unless you have a proven long-term approach that you have proven over not just one season, but several seasons, and can back test it to show that, hey, this is a winning approach, and you're constantly beating the closing line over the span of at least 500 bets, something to where you're getting the margin of error on the bell curve down enough to where we can say with 95% confidence or more that this is a proven long-term approach. You're not there. You're not there, and you need to keep it as something you do recreational or as a hobby, and not something you're trying to do as a side income. But I know this video is going to fall on deaf ears. There's going to be a lot of people who go to Las Vegas for a weekend and do well and be like, hey, I can do this full time, or I can do this and supplement my income. There's going to be a lot of people who do that. I'm talking to a brick wall here, but the point of this post is to say you're not there. Nobody's there. You will know when you are there, and if I haven't gotten there, you haven't gotten there. So let's just put it that way. I got to the point where I gave up on sports betting altogether. I don't do it anymore outside of the occasional recreational bet I'll place when I go to Nevada. But it's something I would do week to week, or I don't do it anymore because I believe it's a lost cause. With sports betting becoming much more mainstream these days, the books are that much sharper, the markets are that much sharper, and it's even harder than it used to be back when I was building out my models. So no, you're not there. Nobody's there. But let me look at the comments to see if anybody could bring this guy down to reality. So the top comment says, the hard truth, you got very lucky betting parlays over a short period. There's nothing long-term sustainable about that. Thank your lucky stars, buy something nice and add to your retirement account, but anybody doing this for a living is not betting 5-unit NFL parlays. I bet golf, you are 100% accurate there. There is nothing you said there that I disagree with. So, and so the original poster says, see, this is part of what I was wondering about. Thanks for responding. Sounds like 3 months isn't exactly long enough to establish a trend without any reliability, if I'm reading right. Yes, you are correct. 3 months is not long enough. Unless you're betting like dozens of games every day over those 3 months. It's not so much the length of time as it is you need to have enough bets to build up that sample size to where you can reduce that margin of error. It's like political polling. People are like, well, you only polled 1,000 people. Well, 1,000 people is enough to get that margin of error, 95% confidence interval down enough to where you can say there's a 95% chance this poll is right, as long as the sampling errors are low enough as well. So 3 months is, in your context, betting parlays on NFL Sunday, yes, that's not long enough. If you're building out any model that's worth a damn, you're going to be able to back test it over previous seasons as well, instead of just the current season that you're betting with. So you can extend the length of time that you can analyze your bets by back testing and add to that sample size. But back testing is a very hard proposition. It's very time consuming because you kind of have to reset your model every single day to what the stats were on that specific day when you're back testing. You can't back test current data against past data. You have to do it apples for apples. I Bet Golf responded, I respect your humility and you have started an interesting discussion about hold and professional gambling. You're correct that 3 months is not sustainable long-term trend, but more importantly, it comes down to the product's hold and your established edge. Professional or even serious sports gamblers grind out small edges, and many rely on market arbitrage or trading positions to become long-term profitable. Again, I Bet Golf, nothing you said there I disagree with. I believe really, unless you just have some incredible model, which only a very, very savvy data scientist who has access to a lot of data will be able to build. The pros, I put pros in quotation marks because I don't really believe in the concept of a pro sports bettor. But the serious ones, they're using gimmicks like market arbitrage and trading positions. That's how they're doing it. Anyway, there's a lot of comments. Wow, how many? 140. Let me see what some of the ones at the bottom are. I want to see if there's anyone who says you can do it. So here's a guy. I'm quitting my job to do this full-time next year. I found a system that's working for me. No, I'm not a scam. I don't want anyone's money. It's been working for me. I'm going to do it next year full-time. There is a way to do it if you want to do it. For most bettors don't know how to bet. If you think of sports betting like the stock market, you're making money. Okay, I'm going to save this guy's profile. Specialist Holiday 61. Let's see if this guy ever makes a post on this subreddit again. Like people like that are idiots. I'm sorry. I shit my pants 24. Unless you're a statistician running your own developed models and using zero human brain decision making, you cannot do this more seriously. And if you were doing these things, it wouldn't be a question because the math would have already made the decision for you. Why does this only have one upvote? Like, I can't upvote because I'm banned, but that should be higher. He's absolutely right. Okay, here's a comment that has 0 points that I think should be not 0. I find it funny that people think pros are super selective and only place 1 or 2 wagers a day or something like that. Couldn't be farther from the truth. Pros build a huge portfolio of wagers, the more the better, and they don't rely on a huge win percentage. They find a small edge and bang it over and over and over as often as possible. A busy weekend can easily see hundreds of wagers. So he's not wrong. He's not wrong. A lot of people think that you need to be very selective if you have a solid approach, but I've always said if you have a proven approach, your proven approach will decide how much you bet for you, whether that be 1 bet a day or 100 a day. Like when my college basketball second half and live betting model that was doing really well in 2021, there'd be some days, if you watch my live streams, I was making 50, 60 bets a day because that's what my model told me to do. That's where my model said I had an edge. So anybody who artificially limits themselves that has an edge is doing themselves a disservice. So you need to let your model dictate how many bets you're making, and not some arbitrary, oh, I'm betting too much, limit yourself. But anyway, I feel like this post provided a lot of good things to discuss about from a sports betting angle. Maybe I'll do more videos like this, try to get more sports betting content back onto this channel. But anyway, you see a lot of posts like this in the sports book subreddit. People who just it's full of degenerates, yes, but you can get some good discussion here where some of the better posters on the subreddit will come out and give some good insight. But anyway, that wraps up this video where I reacted to this post on the sportsbook subreddit that I could not reply to because I'm banned site-wide, but you get the idea. Anyway, I will see you guys later. I am out.